Chemos because he held his hair.
Yeah, but you know, actually, it's funny. I was talking about
If it wasn't for him holding his hair and everything else, no way. He would have lost that fight and everything else. Heist would have lost several of the fights and everything else if it wasn't for a few rolls that they had.
Well, yeah, because I saw one where he had the guy's back, but he had his chin tucked really well, and Hoist just started headbutting the back of his head.
Right.
And eventually he lifted up his head and got the rear naked choke in. But I mentioned the hair thing today on Combat Showcase. We saw a couple fighters with long hair. And back in the day when UFC first started, when MMA first started, there were no rules. So you could grab a handful of hair.
No. There was lots of rules. They had same rules as they have now, but the hair was a lot. But everybody smart came in and cut their hair.
Yeah. But I hear what you're saying,
Eric Paulson was in the middle
you
of
could
the
hit
movie.
in the crotch
Eric
in the first
Paulson
ones. There's a lot of things you could do in the first ones you can't do anymore.
Yeah.
No, the hair and
that crotch thing was all understood, but they never advertised it. But before the fights, they went over, here's all the rules. They have the same rules. No grabbing fish hooks, no groin shots, and they just went out there cheating.
And plus a lot of
they all agreed on what the rules are.
Exactly.
But they didn't want the public to know there was any
rules. They were
rules.
taking street fighting to the cage.
But they were lying to the public to try and make them think there was no rules. They had all kind of rules themselves.
I just want, if James Walsh is listening, if we fought back then on a beach because I'd have grabbed your mohawk.
So what do you guys?
That's why you shaved your head. You
remember
Kung Fu when we were kids?
The show Kung Fu?
Yeah.
Right
before, whenever he was going to have a big battle, he had his long hair. He went in and shaved his head.
Oh, that's true.
They always did. Everybody did. When
that
you
is
came
true.
out, you always shaved your head before a fight because the first thing you do is grab your hair and knock the shit out of the guy. That was simple as could be. That's why you have crew cuts. That's why everybody that fought shaved their head.
That's the exact reason why the U.S. military.
But Eric Paulson was in a movie and he had to keep his hair. You know, Chemo was a nut, so he kept his hair. I mean, anybody was smart. You shaved your head.
Chemo kind of looks scary though.
Yeah, that's very scary.
Hey, Andy and Mark, we've got to get to our next guest, but I wanted to ask you guys if you could think about it. You've been exposed in these 19 episodes to a lot of amateur fighters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who could you tell our audience they should be? Is there one in particular?
Mike Conti.
The Irish
Mike, the cowboy from Hell Conti. He fights out of Las Vegas, and this dude has not fought over 90 seconds.
This dude's a badass.
Has this dude ever been on WEC? Not WEC, but the guys' Tap Out show?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so.
We can find out. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Real bad kicks. I mean, by good.
No, I've never seen him kick. This dude went in and the fight that we saw him fight, he went in, he threw a right hook, knocked the guy into the ropes. The guy came back in, fell right into a guillotine, and tapped him.
What weight is he?
6 seconds.
He's 205. Yeah.
He's
light. I think he's light. Oh yeah, he's a big boy, but he's.
But dude, he's what they're trying. What's the one guy, the cowboy in UFC right now? You know what I'm talking about?
From the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, from
Red Imes.
Yeah,
yes.
the cowboy. The cowboy.
Yeah.
This is the guy the UFC wants right here.
Yeah.
The cowboy from hell, where they can get the Pantera music over the top of it as he comes out to the rope, and he's got the hat on, and he's got the just draped T-shirt cut down the sides where he just takes it off and stuff. This is what they're looking for, and the dude's a badass. He's legit. So if Dana White's listening to the to RiverfrontRadio.com tonight and the Ground Pound Show, Dana, you want Mike Conti, the cowboy from hell. He fights over at Planet Hollywood. In the
Planet Hollywood MMA Explosion.
And he's like
205?
Yeah.
Yeah, 205. Yeah, and I mean, he really is a cowboy because you can definitely hear it in his voice. He got some twang.
Yeah. But he's a badass. He straight up is. And you know, that's the thing. We've seen so many fighters. We've seen there's the one guy, the dude who took out the Irish Carbine. Max.
Oh, Wheeler?
Yeah, Wheeler, man. The 18 Wheeler. His nickname's 18 Wheeler. Okay, so it's kind of a goofy thing. Both him and this kid, the Irish Carbine, they're not too bad. They're not too bad at all, but you can tell that Wheeler, he's got some potential. That's the beauty of our thing. We see the guys at their 1-1, 0-2, 2-0 records. You know, we see them early in their career.
0-1, right?
Yeah, so we can see when there's potential because if there's a guy we just know they're going to scrap out, then you can just tell right off the bat. When they get into somebody who's got some real talent, they can last a while. We saw some jigglers this last time, though, some jelly bellies.
Yeah, we did. 6'9", 450 pounds.
Wow. That's a big boy, dude.
It's hard to watch.
And it wasn't solid either. I'm telling you, it looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man fighting Godzilla.
Interesting.
So it definitely did.
Well, you guys, I really want to thank you for being on the show tonight.
Well,
We
thanks
guys,
for having us.
welcome to stick around. We're going to have a couple more guests on, but we want to have you back on the show and often. You guys were excellent. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, man. And if you guys get a chance, when we come back with Combat Showcase to the St. Louis area finally, we'll please take a look at it.
Or are the shows on the internet or anything? Or
No,
There is a sampler. There is a sampler on
Look under
YouTube.
your names, Andy Eckel or
Yeah, you can
Or
go to
Combat Showcase.
You can go to
or
YouTube.
Combat Showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can watch the sampler, but right now, since we're in development of season 1, and there's a lot of interest from different big players in the game. Mark Ratner is one of the players that's actually invested, or not invested, but interested in being involved with the product and stuff like that. So we got some big stuff.
Now, are you an MMA? You?
No, I'm a former pro wrestler actually.
Oh, okay,
I came from Broadway, South Broadway Athletic Club.
okay.
Trained down there, and me and Randy, Mr. Orton, came up together.
Who?
Randy Orton from WWE. Me and Randy came up together and stuff like that.
I think it was Randy Freeman.
No,
Love that.
no, I don't have no.
Love wrestling.
I have no MMA experience. I'm totally a ring general.
And you know what?
I
Speaking
wouldn't
of
call myself a general anymore.
wrestling and what this guy said earlier, Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, I just got to say, I wish Bobby Lashley the best of luck. I hope he does go to the UFC, and I hope he just wipes Brock Lesnar's smug grin on his face. Not a mark for Brock Lesnar, sorry guys.
See, this is the argument we always get into too, because like I always say the Frank Mir fight, it was 45 seconds of Frank Mir getting his ass beat, and then the ref goes, "Oh, he ducked his head and took a small blow to the back of the head. You obviously tried to punch him there, broke him up, and that's how Frank Mir got his advantage." Had that ref not broken in, Frank Mir, he would have had a loss that night too. That's my
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. There's we got it right there. No question.
I think this punching in the back of the head has become such a stupid issue. Everything else is. So
Well,
if you're going to show me the back of your head, then you're going to get punched in the
He
back
tried
of
to
your
call
head.
it. He tried to call the Randy Couture ducking on the one punch, where he ends up taking it hardcore before he gets knocked to the ground and like punched 4,000 times in a row in less than 30 seconds. He tried to call that a back to the head blow, and I'm like, no, it's Randy Couture ducking down, trying to escape the blows from Brock Lesnar, and as he comes back up, Brock's just still throwing his thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't call that a blow to the back of the head
No,
because
but
it's
my
not on
point is
purpose.
this. What did Brock do to ever deserve a title
The
fight?
states are the ones that sort of made this big deal out of this.
See?
Punch the back of the neck.
That's all I'm saying. What did Brock do to deserve a title fight?
Nothing.
Brock doesn't have to do nothing. All he's got to do is be able to back it up at this point. How he gets there doesn't. That's like saying, well, what did you do to deserve to win the lottery? Well, I bought a ticket. I won the lottery.
Okay.
Take it.
Well, just wait till he fights Shane Carwin.
You versus me, dude.
I'm
That's
telling
it.
you.
Jay?
Wait until Brock Lesnar
Jay.
fights Shane Carwin, and we'll see how bad
Jay,
Brock
set it
Lesnar
up.
Shane?
Yeah,
Set
Shane
it up.
Carwin.
You
Set
think
it
he's
up.
going to beat Brock?
Mark Bland versus Andy Eckel in the ring, in the cage.
He's hitting the
I know.
wall.
2 hands tied behind our backs. 2 hands tied behind our backs. You got a chicken fight. You got to like peck and kick it and
Brock
drop
ain't
it.
going to get beat.
All right, guys, we got to move on.
All right, you got it, man. Thank you so much, guys, for having us. We
If
appreciate
that's
it.
the case, that somebody's going to compete with them.
I
Oh,
want to
yeah,
see
you
your
will.
fight. See what you guys
Very
fight.
good.
You don't want to see me
I'd
fight
like to
him.
introduce our next guests
I'll have to kill him.
who are standing out there not coming in.
Come
Come on in, guys.
They're right there doing triangles on each other.
From Gateway Productions, we have Mike Roper and James Marino. Hey, Mike, welcome to the show.
No, it's Jason's. Hey, thanks for having us.
Got Mike Roper and James Marino from Gateway Productions. You guys have a fight coming up. Tell us about this event you have coming up. When is it? Where is it? And how's it going to go?
All right, May 9th at the game in Glen Carbon. Fight start at 8 o'clock, doors open up at 6:30.
The Glen Carbon's an excellent place to see fights.
That's Steve's old location.
Yeah, that's the old location that Steve Canola used to use, and
That was a great
fantastic,
place.
smoke-free, which is fantastic in the in the fighting area. Really, there's not a bad seat in the house.
No. And
So
there's a lot of room. There's a couple of big banquet rooms, so we can separate the fighters, give them a lot of space, away from the crowds. Give them the time to focus. The fighters need to focus before a big match.
now the name of the event is the Ultimate Cage Wars. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right, cool guys. And again, it's taking place on at the game in Glen Carbon, and it is on May 9th. So, looking forward to this. How many? Is it straight MMA? Or are you going to be doing any boxing, any kickboxing?
For the most part, it's going to be straight MMA, but I think I've got one amateur boxing match in there, and we're playing around with throwing maybe a couple of kickboxing matches in there, just to shake things